Welcome everybody to the Community Plan Committee held at 6 p.m. on March the 14th. Item 1 is to receive apologies for any absences.
So we have Councillor Minshall, Councillor Coyley, Councillor Clark and Councillor Dunn. Councillor
Walkie and Fadders as well.
I didn't get them from you did. Yeah. And Councillor Benway as well.
Yeah, Councillor Benway as well. Yeah. Item 2, anyone declaring interests, members' interests? None? Item 3 is to confirm and sign the minutes of the last Community Plan Committee meeting held on the 23rd Jan. Has everyone had a chance to review? Any concerns, any issues?
Happy to propose them.
Seconder, please. I'll second. Thank you. All in favour? Brilliant. Item 4, public participation. No members of the public present. Any queries, questions?
No.
Item 5, to review the year-to-date financial position of the Community Plan Committee. Any comments? Councillor Rhodes?
I would predict new underspend at the end of the year.
Depends on the grants get approved tonight. I can go through that with you at the start of the grant section if you want me to. Because we hired that sum of 16,000 and I haven't spent it all, there is a request to earmark that, but you'll see that as well come on. So that's an underspend, but it is allocated.
The report currently shows that there's around about £39,000 left in the entire budget. Some of that will be considered under grants, and some is going out in this payment and a small amount for spent relatively well.
Okay, there's nothing more, thank you. Moving on to item 6. To consider matters related to grant applications received, and item 6.1, the first is Vesta SFS.
Just before we start on the grants application, I'd just like to make members aware that if everything were approved tonight, which I know it's not supposed to be done, but if everything were approved tonight, out of the £50,000 allocated budget, we would have £2,076 left in the pot. So we do have funds in the allocated grants pot fund. Vesta was a deferred application from last time. I wasn't present at the last meeting, but it was deferred subject to Councillor Clark particularly had lots of questions to ask, and I went back and asked those questions. I also got a statement of support from the community liaison officer working at Cheshire East, when it was submitted back to the Grants Advisory Group, of which Councillor Clark is of course a member. Her recommendation was that we approve the application. She was happy with the answers.
Any questions?
Any idea of the size of the Polish?
Off the top of my head now, there are 5,270 people living in Cheshire East, and that's from the census of 2021. She doesn't tell me the exact number of people living in Crewe. I think let's get it on the application somewhere. This has been before committee, this is the second time now, so
I think I mentioned the last time we discussed this application. I think one of the selling points positive is it's a service provided in their native language. And I mentioned in the last meeting, I spent about 10 years living overseas. And I know personally how difficult it is to learn a new language. Many people who move to the UK have a general English education, but to access services is different from buying something in a shop. I lived in South America for 5 years, and yes, I could buy something in a shop at the end of it, but to access such services, I would not be able to. So that's why I'm in favour of this application.
I think their overall aim is to improve the Polish women's well-being and social isolation. And when I spoke to Magda, she said the service they offer is invaluable. You know, they are talking about used Polish women who are struggling to talk to their own people who can talk in their own language. So sending them to say Cheshire without abuse will work because they don't speak Polish. So she absolutely endorsed it. We thought they were amazing products. So, yeah.
Polish population.
Yes, for sure.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a little bit amused because they're asking for all of it from us, and yet they don't seem to be raising any of this for themselves. I know normally we get these grants come through and people ask for a grant, but they're doing something for themselves as well.
Only a contribution.
Sorry?
Contribution.
So,
Yeah, I just had a quick look at what the funds with the town council were used for, and it looks like they want all of it from us.
I think they've obviously we went through this at the grants advisory group, which is kind of the purpose of that group. But one of the things we have done for next year is to introduce formal match funding to stop this happening. And so under the current guidelines, they're not really doing anything wrong. They're asking for what they can. But next time, after April the 1st, it's different. They have to provide a higher total project cost than what they're asking us for. And it's on the sliding scale.
Councillor Rhodes?
There are elements of this I don't agree with. You know, I don't agree with funding for refreshments really, not to that extent anyway. But and I'm not certain about how many Polish residents we still have. There's certainly not many living around where I live. If we'd been East Timorian or Romanian, we would have thought better. But Councillor Clark's questions have been answered. And it's obvious that the people who are applying actually have connections with Cheshire Without Abuse, which is in the past worked with not just Polish but other communities as well. So, you know, we have to, and it is a pilot project, so we do get a report back about how successful this has been. So I would actually support Martin in putting this forward, but only on the understanding it's a pilot project. And we want a report,
Yeah.
and we want to know how we're going to fund it in that evaluation slot, how it's going to be funded, what they've done to fund it going forward. Because if it's a service that's needed to be improved, then it's a service that they have to find a way to fund.
So if I ask for quarterly evaluation,
Yeah.
Lots of given it, but I have no reason to believe that they were saying obviously based on the questions that we've asked.
But now that Council Clark's question.
I'd like to give them a start.
Yeah.
So you see how we go on.
So can I have a proposal, please?
Well, I assumed you would propose that.
Oh,
you said
am I allowed
it was
I will propose that. Seconder, please.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ms. All those in favour, please. Thank you. Two, Circus Star. Circus Star show crew asking for £2,500.
This is a project that has run before, quite a few of the councillors, particularly Ben, Finchel, seemed really familiar with it. They are looking to put on, first of all, when I looked at it, I thought, well, they're putting on the show in Nantwich, which obviously isn't ideal, but then I realised that actually the tickets are £20 a ticket, and they are giving them to the children that need them within the Crewe town boundary, and they are specifically for figures of the children that would benefit, and I've told them that it's 125 tickets at £20 per ticket, and I asked them to break it down. It's asked them to break it down, so quite a lot goes to Wishing Well, 50 tickets there, Autism Inclusive, 50 tickets there, and I would obviously go back and monitor and make sure that the tickets went only to people for the benefit of people living within the town boundary. I seem to think it was something that Ben mentioned, so it seems to be something that was funded before, but I can't find evidence of that.
No, I don't remember it ever being funded either. I don't know. Maybe, no, not exactly.
Maybe it went through a funding.
Maybe it wasn't, maybe it wasn't a grant.
Yeah.
Councillor String Francis.
If it's going to be spent on children in Crewe, I think the children in Crewe need as much help as they can get. So I'm in favour of it.
Where have they gone?
In Nantwich at the,
Okay, held.
Yeah.
But it's going to be spent on Crewe children.
I
yeah?
think the overall attendance is about 1,000, and they're asking for 100 children from Crewe, Wishing Well and the likes
Oh, well, I
too.
think that's good.
Yes, Councillor Rhodes.
I'm going to be brutally honest here, and you probably have to be down. We are basically being asked to fund a circus.
I think we're being asked to fund the children's.
Well,
to get the
we're
benefit.
being asked. I mean, Cheshire Warrington Carers Trust.
Yeah.
Do we know, what children they represent? Autism Inclusive at St Mark. Yeah, Wishing Well, we know they work with disadvantaged families.
Yeah.
Adelaide Academy. I don't know, the children go to Adelaide Academy, which comes from all over Cheshire.
Well, we can only fund 100 tickets, can't we, at £20 each, so.
So I think if we're going to grant this, we do it as a one-off and we specify where we want those 100 places to be, and for me, they should go to Wishing Well.
Yeah.
Because we know they work with disadvantaged families from all over Crewe.
So only Wishing Well, not.
Yeah, not the others.
I would add, I work at the Adelaide, and most of the boys are from Crewe.
But I know they do come from elsewhere.
Class.
I do have direct experience in this organisation, and they are they're not a standard circus. They specifically serve a target and provide space for disadvantaged those with special needs. And having attended one of these, yes, the engagement with the kids with such varied needs or challenges is very, whilst we should, I agree, sure is sorry, direct experience of 17 delivered with very, very best possible. So, those are the best.
If this was asking me to fund them as an organisation to provide this facility, I would have no problem. But to me, it's in the allocation of these tickets. Because there's always going to be a child that's disappointed. So,
So if we ask Wishamar then to manage the 100 tickets, we'll go back to reset the start. To
Yeah.
ask Wishamar to manage
Yeah.
it. Wishamar have a criteria anyway, don't they? So everybody who attends is in need.
When you add the figures up, you said it's 100 tickets there, aren't
Yeah.
there? And yet, at £20 a ticket, they're asking for 125. The amount of
125, sorry.
Right, and then when you add up the number of tickets going to the shows,
Yeah.
the early show is 165, and the late show is another 75 on top of that, so it's like, 240. So
But
They're-
I
they're
think
not paying-
they're not paying for all of them,
No.
they're asking us for a contribution, for 125 tickets, that costs
yeah,
20 pounds.
Yeah.
I think it's probably, you know, something, there's so many children in Crewe who've never ever been to a circus before.
yeah,
You know, it's not just special needs children, just children
Children,
with
yeah.
parents
Yeah.
who don't have any recognition.
I've never been to a circus.
Oh.
They performed it.
Thought you were from a circus.
Well, I was gonna say that, and I thought I better
Edit.
not. It was all this time, innit?
So, would anyone like to propose?
I propose that the chairman,
I propose it, but with those conditions. But I
Also,
think
through Wishamar.
if this is going to be an annual thing, then there needs to be something other than a grant, because they can only apply every other year, and if this is going to be an annual thing, then I think as a council, it's something we should support, and which should be on a more permanent basis.
So we could perhaps look at, right, a funding line annually for it.
I'll second.
Second, thank you. All in favour? Okay, thank you.
Then we have.
Yes, next item 6.3, Friends of Full Leisure. Asking for £1,840 for volunteering programme.
We have definitely funded Friends of Leisure before. The only comment made at the Grants Advisory Group were that Dawn wanted the phone cost removed just to be consistent, because they got removed at the meeting this year. So it's 1,800 instead of 1,840.
Any comments?
They have broken it down in their request funding to approve areas, to approve areas spending. So even though they're quoting this much because the whole issue is. they're requesting that.
Yeah, mostly from the National Lottery. Almost all their needs met.
Yeah.
So this would be a small contribution from the council.
I think the volunteer recruitment is a theme that's recurring in lots of groups that I speak to are really struggling with recruiting volunteers and the cost of DBS checks and what have you. So I think that's
Do we have a proposer, please?
Yeah,
Second, and all in favour? Thank you.
and that's 1800, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can we move on from part one? Would you just to be clear for the minutes, we're deferring?
Yeah.
So the next one will be 6.5 St Michael's Dance Troupe, asking for £2,000 to fund training kits.
I went back to these, this was like a blanket request for training kit, and I went back to them and asked them to break it down. And as you can see, of course, that's what they've done. They did ask initially for £7,000, which of course we don't go up to, only up to 2,500. They applied for match funding from 2 other funders, but at this point that hasn't been secured. 2,900 total cost.
For my own, what happens if we provide funds partly for the project, but they don't get the rest?
That would, sorry.
Part of the conditions of the grant is issued when the funds have been paid.
Any questions? Yes.
I'd like to make a proposal, that we fund the hoodies, and that's it. And I think if you are a family on a limited income, you probably could afford a t-shirt, but a hoodie would be a bit more expensive. And I know we've only got 80 members, so we don't need 100. Because then at least it's something that we can monitor what's been spent. We can have an evaluation of that.
That's 1,520.
So that would be 80 hoodies at £19 each.
Yeah. Because I think if you're a family on a limited income, finding £19 for hoodies is quite a lot of money.
In addition to a t-shirt as well.
In addition to a
Yeah,
t-shirt, £10.
So a suggestion of donation.
Yeah. Because I know that the Morris troops, I don't know St Michael's personally, but they do a good job with
Yeah.
the local community, and
Been going
there's a lot of Morris tradition crew.
Yeah, a long time as well. It's been going. Started out in 1990. Yeah. They're an established group, which is encouraging. So 1520.
So that would be, the new proposal would be for 80 hoodies at £19.
Yeah.
A total of £1,520.
awesome.
Second, thank you. All in favour? Thank you. Item 6.6, Family Ties CIC, asking for £2,500 for a family first drop-in.
one of the things that, you can see from the notes is that I went back to them because they referred to Cheshire East, Cheshire East, Cheshire East, so I went back to them and asked them to be specific. So if you look at the front sheet, you'll see that, I've asked them to be specific about numbers within the Crewe town boundary, and I attached a map, which is starting doing quite a lot, so that they can actually read the numbers, because lots of people don't know exactly where our boundaries are.
So they're asking for around 2/3 of their costs. But they have not approached the funders.
Project is less than 2016. Some research properties, so there's an extra project we're doing, so we've got some establishing in house funding that themselves. And they're asking us for-
This is sort of service that shows that.
Yeah.
Before.
I can't see where they're meeting. Am I in the wrong place?
Shares office space and works closely alongside the creative action team and uses the autism inclusive building to facilitate the family first property.
That rebuilding.
Ah, right. Okay.
But their address is 58 and 62 the Avenue.
That's usually the address of tax case. The practitioner I would suggest.
No, that's a Cheshire East owned, isn't it?
That's it. The timber 11. So it's like their head office.
It's kind of community centre.
Okay. They're definitely saying that they're running, which is an inclusive building. They share the office space and work closely, yeah.
There's no more comments. Do we have a proposal?
Okay.
Thank you. Second. Thank you. All in favour? Those against? Abstentions? One abstention. So that's 4 in favour. That's granted. Thank you. Next, the Dove service asking again for £2,500 to fund Dove Buddies in Crewe.
So just for the benefit of Jill and I had a chat about this, just for the benefit of other members, I approached the Dove service to come and talk to me because I identified that a need within Crewe for a bereavement service because I spoke to various people, including Crewe Cemetery, who just they don't know of anyone that does it face to face. You know, there are some that offer online. So this particular group runs will run Dove Buddies, means they run a session where people can, if they're going through a bereavement, they can come along and join in with like-minded people and chat it through. If they need one-to-one, they're immediately identified and matched to a counsellor. The counsellors are all in training, but they're all beyond year 2. So it's the way that they get their experience and it's the way that they can offer it free to the end user. So I would like to advertise this along with the Tree of Light service and just really help them establish themselves within Crewe by sharing on our social media platforms, by promoting what they do, and also linking in with all of the groups. They've had a meeting with Wishing Well, and Wishing Well have offered them space there because they saw the benefit and said they agree there wasn't anyone. And I've also connected them with the Caritas Centre as well, with potential to take a room there. They do currently run a drop-in out of Motherwell, and they're also in the YMCA, but they don't feel that that's appropriate for their audience.
Yes, sounds like a service that's needed in the crew, doesn't it?
Definitely need that.
Mm.
As I say, I tried really hard and spoke to lots of different people and
Yes, it's
said, is
just-
there anybody around?
It
And,
just surprises me that there's been nothing
you
before.
know, I think there's plenty out there, but it's all online or phone calls, and what we were looking for is actually to sit down with
This is
someone.
something that is definitely needed, I was helped at one time, when that many years where it gave me enough help, so I'm taking the personal point of view.
Yes, councillor Rhodes.
Can I say that when I read this, I was sceptical, because I know that pre-COVID we used to have a bereavement charity in Crewe, but obviously, you know, whatever's happened over COVID, that's, you know, that's gone. And I know that, bereavement is really difficult for a lot of people. And I think that if this is a hole in the, services, if you like, for people in Crewe, that we should support this. And again, if it's something that is going to be a benefit, if we treat this as a pilot project, if this is something that's going to be a benefit, then we should look at about how do we, and support them to look about how do we keep this service going on a more
So I
permanent.
have put a bereavement section in my budget for next year. When we get to that, you'll see, I did think that because they are going to need constant help. And it would just be great to be able to speak to the groups about something that we've done that's tangible, that we can help lots of people, including all the taxables, because they don't know of anybody at the cemetery that they can refer to.
I mean, I think, yeah, I just think if it, as I said, we did have quite a good bereavement support system pre-COVID.
Yeah. I think COVID changed everything, didn't it, in terms of contact.
So I'm happy to propose it.
Thank you. Second, all in favour, please. Thank you. The last grant application is from the 17th South West Cheshire Scout Group, asking again for £2,500 to fund the final phase for their new Scout hut.
Yeah, I know two of the people in the Scout, so I'm going to declare a non-pecuniary interest. And with your permission, I'm going to stay out of any discussion.
Understood? So they're asking funding for windows and doors. The overall cost is over £5,000. They're asking for just under half from us. Any comments?
I believe they built some of this new Scout stuff themselves.
Yeah. They've had lots of funding, a lot of it is secured here. Looks like one, Screwfix to find it, one else secured. I know it was something that the Parks Advisory Group scrutinised.
Yeah, councillor Rhodes, please.
I mean, I would like to support them, I would like to help them, because I can see that they, you know, have got a nursery group, they've got martial arts, they're supporting the community. But, and I'm going back, I'm pulling too far. For me, you don't buy windows and doors. But I would like to support the group.
Shall I talk to them about any other projects that they've got running?
You know, I mean, I gave the example, I'll give the example, we had once a church who wanted a new front door. And part of the project was also upgrading the toilet so it's disabled friendly. So instead of the front door, we gave them the funding to make the toilet disabled friendly. Because that would obviously improve access rather than just buying a front door. So I'd like to support them, but I don't, this is my personal opinion, I don't see buying doors and windows as the best way forward. I would like it to be spent on something that's going to be.
So an inquiry to perhaps fund and support with access, with
You know, we've bought blinds, curtains and things in the past, but, you know, is again, you know, if you've got a nursery group or got martial arts, you know, you might need I don't know what kind of floor you need for martial arts, but, you know, that sort of thing.
So how then for the so that I know how to handle the applicant. Are you suggesting that we agree to the funding with the caveat that they come up with a different project? So I'll look into exactly, and I'll discuss with the chair and obviously the clerk exactly what we can delegate it to us effectively to make sure it's a project that fits the criteria you just suggested.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to propose it if it, that it's delegated to yourself and the clerk and maybe the chairman, and you know, that we support the group, because
They do
like
that.
most Scots groups, they do a great deal of work for the community.
Okay, thank you. Can we have a second for that proposal? Thank you. And all those in favour? Would Dennis be an abstention?
One abstention.
One abstention. Thank you. So that is approved. With
My wife started off first spring. So, I just saw it here. But
okay, well, that's the end of grant applications. Item 7 is to provide an end of grant update to members regarding groups funded by the small grant scheme within the last financial year.
Part of the due diligence that I'm doing is just to go back to groups that have finished their projects, and as and when they finish their projects, I talk to them and they provide me with an update, usually in the form of the send a grant report, not always the same. They send me pictures and they want to share happily what they've spent their money on. Huge amount of thanks and appreciation, and there it is.
I remember the camping day
Yeah.
application.
The original camping, that was lovely. They had such a lovely, lovely time. And they actually sent out 50 pictures, I just didn't put them all on.
Critical.
Yes, yeah, so nice, isn't it? I mean, that's and the Santa float refurbishment was nice, because I was in a little picture of the float, but unfortunately didn't allow dancing at that point.
Yeah, I remember that visiting my neighbourhood.
Yeah.
If there's no comments or questions,
Yeah, I read a bit about what's going on at St Paul's. And was that a hunger project?
That's
Am I on the wrong
no,
bit?
it's further on, Jill.
All right.
Yeah.
No comments then.
Okay.
Apart from all the organisations
Right,
that have sent back the evaluation, it's good to know. That they've used the grants as they've
Yeah.
said, and that they have provided opportunities for people in career.
Thank you as well, let me know.
okay, thank you. Item 7.1 is to consider a variation of a grant request from the Crew Veterans Hub.
And again, I'm the chairman, so your permission.
Noted, thank you.
So, carrying on from the theme of asking people for feedback, it also enables me to find out if there have been any variations or if groups haven't delivered the things that we funded them for. Crew Veterans Club is an example of that. There are one or two others knocking around as well that I'm working on. But so we asked Paul Fox, who applied for the funding, to come in and talk to us about it. And then I asked him to put it in writing, which he did. It's something very simple on there for you to read. Page 117. So I think one of the things that they had bought a laptop and they had started to spend money on equipment as the funding request states, but they didn't manage to secure the Thomas Cook building. So it was a case of if we don't manage to secure the Thomas Cook building, I've connected them with Caritas, and that's part of the Connected Community, so they get 10 weeks free. And then there'd be a fee after that. So it was a case of if we don't, try not to look at you, if we don't manage to get the Thomas Cook building, can we use it for room hire? So it comes to 1,150. the amount that we're looking at.
Additionally,
So it's already been approved and paid, but that's the section that they haven't said because they didn't secure the building.
Is that definitely not going to be able to?
No. We applied to Cheshire East for the charity status, so that we wouldn't have to pay the full rates on the building. But they said as a CIC, because we're only allowing veterans to come in, that we couldn't be classified as a charity, although we have got a CIC status. We've argued about that, and we've had a chat, and we've decided that rather than be a CIC, we're going to apply for CIO, and we've been told that as soon as we get the CIO, we get the subsidy, and we only have to pay 20%, and most probably won't even have to pay that. So it all depends how long the people owning Thomas Cook are prepared to wait. But if we can get it fairly quickly, then obviously what Paul's written, it won't be available because we'll be going in there. Sorry,
Yes.
just back.
For clarity, members, you're being asked for a variation on the grant already awarded. This is a nil change in cost, and due process required when a grant is awarded on one basis that a responsible organisation, as this is demonstrated to be, comes back for absolute clarity to say that it needs to use the funds for appropriate purposes, but not as previously defined from unforeseen circumstances. That's what we've been asked.
Well, I think if it's going to help the project and move along the project, then I've got no objections. I'd like to propose this, please. Second?
I second that.
All in favour? Any abstentions? Thank you. That is carried.
thank you.
Item 8 is the mayoral engagements for 2022-2023.
Yeah, so we just did a little update of what Nan and beautiful assistant Lena have been up to. Obviously Nan has been poorly and hasn't done an awful lot in the early start of this year, but it's starting to pick up again now, and there are new appointments coming in, so just letting you know where she's going.
Any highlights?
Tonight.
I'd just like to, I just think we should record our thanks to Nan
Yes.
and celebrate the success of her year as mayor.
Definitely. Thank you.
I won't get through that door now.
Item number 9, to provide an update to members on the progress of the business delivery plan for 22-23.
So this is all the stuff I've been up to and working on for most of this year. I think this is where your support thing comes in.
Yes, it is. Because I read that the funding is coming to an end, but unfortunately our cost of living crisis isn't, is it?
No, which is why I've asked if we can earmark it so that I can carry on. So I asked a bit further on in the next year's plan whether we could earmark the remaining balance, because I felt quite strongly that it wasn't just a case of going back to the groups and saying, right, there's 5,000 and something left, let's divide it. I went back and asked groups where they were up to, and the majority of them hadn't yet spent all the money. The projects are still running, so I'd still like to monitor those projects and give money when it's needed to the appropriate group, rather than just share it all out willy-nilly, so to speak.
And this is for the Beechwood kitchen.
This is, yeah, so this is the money that we wired into winter response fund, and we had £16,000, which was the balance of health and wellbeing and social isolation, and we created a fund for it. And I think there is approximately £5,850 left, which I requested an EMR for, so that we can continue to support them during the next financial year. But I'll monitor and support rather than just dish out the money.
So do we need to give you, because I'm conscious that you probably won't get a meeting until June.
June the 6th.
So do we need to delegate you powers to delegate to you and the clerk that you use that earmark reserve in the interim period?
If required.
If required, yeah. Some of them are fine, they haven't used, St Paul's were the only ones who said, yeah, we'll have some more money and deliver some more meals. Everyone else was saying, we're midway through, Chance still have crock pots left. They're advertising those at the moment. Every single family that joins gets a crock pot and also ingredients and a recipe card and help, and they tell them how much it costs to cook. So they don't need any more crock pots at the moment. Wishing Well are similar, they don't need any more money at the moment. The project's going well, but specifically for the winter response fund, that was what we were funding, those 5 groups. So I am on it, they all haven't finished yet, but they don't need the money now, so my suggestion is give them to it next year when they need it, as they need it.
But if you're not going to get permission from the committee to do that until June.
Well, we're not, could we have permission now and then would it?
So you, I think,
That's exactly
Yeah.
the councillor's
So now-
recommendation.
so I will propose that you delegate to the clerk and the relevant officer
I'll second.
permission to distribute funds as appropriate.
Is everyone happy?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Item 10 is to consider the committee's draft budget for next year or 2023-2024.
As common practice now, this item comes forward, introduced it to the committee. The business delivery plan is structured so that the committee has foresight to deliver its budget through the year with planned spend, but also space to be responsive to issues or opportunities. This draft business delivery plan came in January and has been dated accordingly. It's here to you now, and you'll be asked now to recommend a draft business plan for part of the council's full business plan, business delivery plan, sorry. It's March meeting.
Okay, would anyone like to propose that this draft budget be presented to full council? Thank you, Councillor Wilson. Second, thank you. Councillor Rose. Sorry. Yes.
You know, you've got this word, this food bank support.
Yeah, so, what page are we on now, Joe?
That's page 145.
Okay.
Now,
So last year,
this is with another hat on really.
yes, it is.
Currently, we have St Paul's Food Bank and possibly another food bank.
And the community pantry are the ones that we intend to fund.
But if you're thinking about making things sustainable for families, you actually need something to move on from food bank, which is where sort of chance changing lives comes in. But that's only one area of fruit. So is there a possibility that we could, I mean, I don't know about the officer capacity, but we could support either Chance or another charity to set up a social supermarket somewhere else?
So Chance are looking to do premises at the moment. They're looking to bigger premises. They were at a meeting here last week with Lindsay and I, particularly looking at interested in Christchurch to put it in the centre. They fund people from all over Crewe. They have 143 members, I think it is, at last count. And a lot of them are within the Freetown boundary, they're in dire need, so they get looked after. Last year, we gave £5,000 to the food banks. St Paul's and Chance at £2,500 each. That funded 2,000 was directly for their food banks, and the other 500 was to fund dignity projects, underwear, and various sanitary products for women. So they are very much looking forward to us continuing to do that. And because of the cost of living, I tried to ask for 8,000 instead of the 5,000. But I know that Chance are all over it. They're there for everybody. I know that they're based where they're based, but they know that's not ideal. They want to come more centrally through. St Paul's obviously do great things, and we give St Paul's, you know, they are the food bank, aren't they? But Chance do a very different offering, which is, I was there last week, it's amazing what they do.
Yeah, but I mean, from a poverty perspective,
Yes.
if, you know, if you're lucky, you get 6 weeks food bank,
But Chance continue.
but Chance then continue, and that's what I was,
The Chance don't, so you pay £3.50 to go as a member. You have to be a member, you can't just turn up and help yourself to the cheap shop, it's what they seem to get. You pay £3.50 a week, and that gives them access to food in the food bank that they need, slow cookers, counselling, debt advice. They signpost, they have chiropodists and things come in, and they go on the Saturday night to Wishing Wells Saturday night kitchen, if you like, with all the homeless people and lots of other people too use it. So it really is a much bigger service than just community pantry. It's an absolutely fantastic place. Spent a bit of time there.
but it doesn't, we do need
Yeah.
to expand
Yeah.
that food network.
So with that
I mean,
in
I don't
mind,
know if that's our job or not, but I think
yeah,
support that.
with that in mind, then if we were to allocate the 8,000, maybe we donate some to the food bank, perhaps a little bit more to the Chance that are developing other areas.
Well, I know that, well, I know that it might be charity from Congleton that might be interested in setting up a social
Is
supermarket.
this bread?
I can't remember the name of the
So I asked
charity.
Joe Cosby to look into that because that came back to me via the Chinese whispers, if you like, whatever it is that he said. And Joe Cosby looked into it and said there's no applications at all at the moment for anybody. Is it called bread and butter?
Don't know, but I don't, but we could, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something that as a town council, if we've got the money and the time, that we should be looking to get another social supermarket. Now, Chance might not want to expand into second premises, I understand that.
They were after the Sainsbury's, the old Sainsbury's building. I know that they're desperate to be more central. And as I say, they're now looking. The trustees are looking at Christchurch. They were here last week, chatting. Lindsay and I and Joe Cosby is here. But
Clark?
If I may, Chair, it's not really we say what I do anyway. I think it's a very positive and potentially sustainable option that I think as officers we should be directed to go away and investigate how social supermarket can be enabled. I think it's probably the best phrase within a suitable location. We can't answer the question how could we don't know, but I think it's a really positive move just to at least explore and hopefully find a solution. We can have to bring it back to a future meeting with a new administration, but I think if we're duly directed that way, it's only positive.
Because we don't have the Trussell Trust in Crewe, because we have St Paul's, but the Trussell Trust in other areas runs social supermarkets. So, I don't know, it's just a big question really.
well, that's of course what Chance Changing Lives are doing, isn't it? But they are,
Yeah, but they're not a member of the Trussell Trust.
No.
It's something that can be delivered. It might come with a significant amount of initial funding and then take them down to make it sustainable. But equally, the value will have to be huge.
So if it could be looked at
Yeah, no problem.
at some point.
This item in particular, you're asking it to consider recommending it to council as part of council.
Yes, we have a proposal. Do we have a second in it? Thank you. All those in favour? Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
The last item is to note the proposed dates of the next meeting.